With 2 consecutive wins over ranked teams, the Sam Houston State Bearcats are making a bid to be one of the nation's top 25 teams. Yesterday, starter Tyler Epler threw 6 shutout innings, and the Bearcat offense plated 9 runs to down 23rd-ranked TCU 9-4. The Red Raiders of Texas Tech came into Houston winners of 8 straight, but an 8-run 7th by the Houston Cougars snapped the Tech winning streak in a 9-0 shutout. Coming up next, it's the Bearcats and the Red Raiders as the Houston College Classic continues. Day 2 of the Houston College Classic, and momentum is the key in the first game of the day. Sam Houston State is trying to keep it going and ride it into the rankings, while Texas Tech is trying to get it back after its loss to Houston in its weekend opener. Hi, everybody. Along with Dave Raymond, I'm Bill Doleman. So happy to have you with us for this matchup between the Bearcats and the Red Raiders. And, you know, Dave, Sam Houston State isn't a team that's just happy to be here, but it's a team that should be very happy with the way it played in its first game against TCU.
Well, no question. Its second consecutive victory over a top 15 ranked team in the country for Sam Houston State. And yesterday, they did it with the bats, an offensive onslaught against one of the best pitchers we'll see in this tournament for TCU. You see the numbers, more power yesterday as well. And this is a new era of college baseball where offense is really at a premium. Yesterday, Sam Houston State really flexed its muscle.
Well, Texas Tech is a team that relies on pitching for its strength, but it really does not have an ace of its staff. But if there's somebody that they really rely upon, it's Matt Withrow. We're going to see him today.
Yeah, interesting that he's the Saturday starter for Texas Tech. This is the guy with the highest upside for Texas Tech. Big kid, 6'4", 215 pounds. Goes a little downhill. Can get it up to 95 when he's really humping it. A little bit of a slurve and a changeup. Pretty good repertoire, good competitor, but clearly the best stuff of anybody on this Texas Tech staff.
2 teams from the state of Texas first met back in 1955, but they've only met 5 times all time. Well, they're about to meet again today here in Houston. It's the Bearcats and the Red Raiders, and they're coming up next. Welcome back to Minute Maid Park for Sam Houston State and Texas Tech in the Houston College Classic. And David Pierce is the head coach at Sam Houston State in his 3rd season. Last 2 years, he's taken the team to the conference championship and also to the NCAA tournament. And now he has his program on the verge of the top 25. That's what most folks around these here parts are thinking about the Bearcats after their 9-1 start. Here's a look at his lineup. Atwood, O'Hearn, and Azar are in the top 3. Similarly, Burgess and then McWilliam. And Jake McWilliam had himself a terrific day in the win over TCU. He upped his average from 400 to 462 with a 2-for-3 day, a home run, and 3 runs driven in. Shea Pierce did not play yesterday. He'll play second. Pluchek and Farney round out the lineup.
Now, we talked a little bit about the starting pitcher they'll face today. Matt Withrow, big kid, 6'4", 215. Just a sophomore. There was interest in him coming out of high school, and certainly as he continues to develop his game at the college level, this is a guy who very well could be drafted. Great stuff, throws hard. Now, we may not see him get to 95 today, but when he's really pushing it, has that ability. He'll be upper 80s, low 90s today with a slurve and a good changeup today.
And he has a brother, Chris, who is a reliever for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The conditions in Houston are absolutely ideal. 77 degrees at game time. The wind is blowing out toward left, and that is probably pretty enticing for the offensive guys as they come to the plate. We did see a couple of home runs in the Bearcat game and their win over TCU yesterday as the winds picked up, and those Crawford boxes look a little bit shorter out in left field. So we're ready to go with baseball this afternoon. The Bearcats 9-1 on the year. Texas Tech now 8-2. Texas Tech had its 8-game winning streak snapped yesterday in a 9-0 loss to the Houston Cougars. But that is one of those games, Dave, in which you say the game was much closer than the final score indicated. Colt Atwood leads it off, 1 strike to him. And now a ball, 1-1.
That was a really unique game yesterday for Texas Tech, I thought. They battled. I mean, it was a 1-0 game into the 7th inning.
Fly ball off to the left side, and that will drift into the seats. A ball and 2 strikes to Atwood, who was 0 for 3 yesterday in the Bearcats win over TCU. Struck out and also walked. On the season, Atwood is at .318, making his 11th start of the year. 14 hits and 44 plate appearances. A ball and 2 strikes, and there's a line to short, and there's 1 away.
Well, good start for Withrow. Get that first out. That ball actually pretty well struck. Nice when your teammates are positioned perfectly. Both teams have some holes, I guess, or some spots that are still developing on the infield, but nice play, though, by Ryan Long there at short.
Ryan O'Hearn swings at the first pitch, and that's a fly ball high, kind of deep left field, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Ryan O'Hearn went 0 for 5 yesterday in the win over TCU with 3 strikeouts. Apparently, he took that personally and came out on a mission today, and he gives the Bearcats a 1-0 lead.
Well, nothing like a new day, and nothing like a sunny, warm day with the wind blowing out to left to those short seats in left. And this has long been the case in college baseball. You can send a ball the other way with great power based on the technology of the bats. Now, in recent years, they have really dampened that ability. That's a pretty good swing. They got just enough to get it over that 20-foot wall.
So 1-0 Sam Houston State. For O'Hearn, that's his first home run of the season, 9th run driven in. And here's Anthony Azar, who had a triple in the victory over TCU. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 down and 1 in. Top half of the first inning. Azar yesterday went 2 for 5. And on the season, just above 300 at 303. As a team, Sam Houston State has an excellent offense at 328. A number of guys north of 300.
Well, we always say, too, that pitching ahead of hitting this time of year. You're early in the season. Usually the pitchers have the great advantage, and a lot of teams are kind of hoping that's the case. Texas Tech, one of them, hoping that maybe their hitters will pick things up here in the near future. But for Sam Houston State, they're off to a very good start offensively, and I think they feel like they're going to be a very offensive team all year. And in this day and age in college baseball, that can be a big advantage.
And they've been able to get that average and that offense going against some very good opponents so far this season. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt to Azar. Behind him, Hayden Simmerly.
Well, I wouldn't go to sleep on Sam Houston State if I'm a college baseball coach or team, or for that matter a voter. I think this is a team that as the season progresses, we're going to hear a lot about it.
Line drive left field, and that's a base hit. Azar has his 3rd hit, now 3 for 6 in the College Classic.
Check out this pitch right here. You can't do that at any level. You can't throw it belt high over the heart of the plate and expect to get away with it. Now, one of those spots there where Withrow, I don't know that he was challenging Azar so much as he may have just missed his location, because you do not want to be, you know, belt high, middle of the dish.
That was a batting practice pitch. So here's Hayden Simmerly with a man aboard. 1 in, 1 out. Simmerly out of Round Rock. He's the right fielder. 1 for 3 against TCU with the triple. And that's in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Redmond.
It's interesting the way that the pitching lined up for Texas Tech. Yesterday, they were able to go with Dominic Moreno, and he did a really nice job. Pitched around a lot of trouble against the Houston Cougars team that has really struggled offensively. Now, against a very good offensive team, they're able to throw Withrow.
Withrow misses in.
Not a good start so far for Withrow with a home run to O'Hearn, and now Azar with that hard hit single. But if he can get himself settled down here, I think it's somewhat of an advantage the way things laid out for the Red Raiders.
The 2-1 swung on and missed, and it's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Simmerly's 5'11", 190 pounds. Tops on the team coming into Houston at 441. His average dropped just a little bit after yesterday, down to 432. 16 hits now on the season. The 2-2 offering from Withrow. Ground ball into right field, and that's a base hit, and that'll advance Azar into scoring position.
Okay, Bill, here we go. It's about location and pitching, right? I mean, most of these guys have similar stuff. You take a look at Withrow's first offering to O'Hearn. Look at that thing. Not only is it over the heart of the plate, it's up a little bit, you couldn't ask for a better pitch if you're O'Hearn. Now the next one to Azar. We saw that one. I mean, dead red down the middle in the heart of the strike zone, and you cannot place the ball there against any level of hitter. But he's right now working against the heart of the lineup, and that's why they're doing damage. He's got to find the corners. He's got to pitch a little more down in the zone.
And he's facing Carter Burgess now, who went 3 for 5 yesterday. So he's seeing the ball pretty well. And Burgess takes a strike. 0-1. 17 pitches already for Matt Withrow. Making his 3rd start of the year. 15th start of his career is Withrow. He entered the game 1-0 with an ERA under 1 at .90. 4 walks and 11 strikeouts. He'd only given up 5 hits in 10 previous innings, but already 3 hits given up in this inning. And a strike taken to Burgess. That may have been Withrow's best pitch so far.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that. I mean, finally finding an edge of the strike zone. There's a guy you cannot mess around with right here.
So he comes back to get Burgess swinging in the first strikeout of the game, 2nd out of the inning. And that'll be up to McWilliam to try and bring a runner in.
Well, I like that one. I mean, that time you go a little bit higher out of the zone. There's one thing to live up in the zone in the dangerous spot, but if you're going to challenge a power hitter with a high fastball, put it up out of that range where they're probably not going to be able to do damage, and they're certainly not going to be able to lay off. And he finally gets Burgess on strikes.
Here's Jake McWilliam, and that's away. McWilliam, not McWilliams. M-A-C William. He's the shortstop. And yesterday he went 2 for 3, had the home run. His average at the beginning of the day was 400. His average today 462. 1 ball and no strikes. Trying to pick up Azar out at second base with Simmerly behind him at first. 1 run is already in on the home run. Slowly hit up the middle. Should be an out. The only play is going to be to first. That's a long throw, and it's just in time. McWilliam is retired. So 3 hits in the inning for Sam Houston State, and only the home run is productive to get a run.